What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Daily Rage Quit. I'm your host, Weiss, and alongside me, the one, the only, Steelman.
What's going on, y'all?
In today's episode, guys, we're excited to dive into because this is a squad favorite. We're diving into the next generation of Battlefield. So, like we talked about in our previous episode, Battlefield 5 has ended, and we are extraordinarily fucking happy. It was a dud of a game. It had not enough pizzazz to stay alive. So, we are clearing the slate, and we are ready for the next generation of Battlefield. And I think there's a lot going on with talks around Battlefield 6, but there is also particular conversation around remastering Battlefield 3.
Yeah, I'm glad they put Old Yeller down and moved on with Battlefield 5 and got away from it. But Battlefield 3 remastered, that could be cool. This is something we've discussed with other people we play with, and that would be exciting news, I think. I think it'd be really, really exciting news if they were to announce that.
I think it's not only is it exciting, but for everybody that's listening to this, and especially if you're a Battlefield player, you know for a fact that Battlefield 3 is one of the best Battlefields in the franchise. It was well balanced. The battle was absolutely insane. It was totally squad based. Everybody loved it. And what's really interesting, Steelman, is that as Battlefield 3 aged over time, it turned into like wine, dude. It was aging more and more fine. And what we found out is as Battlefield 1 was launched, and then especially Battlefield 5 took such a dip in players actually playing the game, but they saw a mass increase in people going back to Battlefield 3, which is absolutely incredible, which shows that it is a game that has the longevity and the right balance to continue to drive to the future.
Yeah, I think Battlefield 3 did a lot of things right. It had good balance as a whole. And, the modern setting, that's what Battlefield has really started to kind of thrive at in the last few years. And I think Battlefield 3 and 4 were both good. I just think Battlefield 3 is probably a little bit better. And I think the community agrees as a whole that it was. So I think that would be the right move to make.
I would 100% agree. I think if they take the same exact formula, add the new Frostbite engine to it, add a couple features to it, nothing crazy. You don't have to change much. You keep the same maps. You can actually even port in Battlefield 4 maps if you want to, right? That would be super cool, but there's not a lot to do there. And I think there's a couple cool moves that they could make without a doubt. One, release this game at a cheaper rate, right? It's not a brand new AAA title. It's a remaster. Keep it multiplayer. Get rid of any single players. If they keep on trying to launch single players, I'm going to shoot myself in the face. Just give me the multiplayer. Give us access. Keep it cheap so that we can continue to ride that Battlefield train. The other thing I would say is when it comes to the remastering, unleash all the maps. Don't continue to try and release new content for anything like that. Remaster it. Maintain the servers. Keep it simple. This is a game that doesn't need a lot of modifications. If we can keep it as simple as possible, we can revitalize the Battlefield crew, our own and everybody else out there, to again once enjoy Battlefield again.
Yeah, I think the main goal here is in releasing a Battlefield 3 is to remove the bad taste from everyone's mouth that Battlefield 5 left, and kind of get us excited for Battlefield 6, and that's why I'm hesitant to believe that they would actually, and again, this is EA we were talking about here, so it wouldn't be the first time they made a retarded bonehead decision. But I think it would be really a big mistake to release this alongside Battlefield 6 and not this year, giving people the time to get excited about Battlefield again and build up that excitement and then release the whopper of the game that Battlefield 6 is supposed to be, that they keep kind of hinting at that it's going back to its roots. It's going to be a good game, and keep hearing that. But if you really do believe that, be confident enough to say we're going to release Battlefield 3 a year before and not alongside it as a safety precaution in case Battlefield 6 bombs. And that's kind of my hesitation here with this move if they wait another year to do this.
I would 100% agree. If anything, this Battlefield 3 remaster that we're hearing rumors about should be a PlayStation 5, Xbox launch game. This should be something that's downloadable. It's something that could, push the engine just enough where it's not going outrageous, but it's bringing the Battlefield crew back into play. Or what we could do is take a book out of, let's just say, Call of Duty as an example, and launch it afterwards. Maybe perhaps keep that remastered version and infuse it into Battlefield 6. But Battlefield 6 needs to be its own entity, needs to have its own spotlight. We know it's going to be a modern shooter. We know it's going to be running on new engines. They need to focus on launching a AAA title without launching another type of title that isn't AAA, but just a remastering. You are going to confuse the community. You're going to piss off the community. And guess what? In EA fashion, they're not going to care.
Yeah, it's interesting. You brought up a good point in saying that do away with the single player. Like, we don't need the single player. I know there's some people in the community, every time I bring this up, there's like 5 people that are like, oh my God, the single player has always been a part of Battlefield and it needs to be there. No, it doesn't. Just fucking kill it. Get rid of it. Like, it's good. Like, I've played it and been like, all right, this is enjoyable, but it's nothing special. Like, it's not winning any awards. There's no great story behind it. I mean, Bad Company is a different story. Totally different story, not including Bad Company in this. So forget that. But yeah, we don't need a Battlefield 3 with a storyline. So don't waste your time on it. Like, just don't waste your time. Make it $40. Sell it to us just as a multiplayer remastered, and we'll be good from there. We'll be happy about that. But yeah, also just this gives a chance to bring the veterans back to the community, right? And then these veterans who have now made new friends and play with other people go and say, hey, this is a great game. I played it, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Wow, was that long? 7 years ago, and it was so much fun. You guys should play it too. You guys will enjoy it. You bring more people in. They get more fans hooked into it. So these fans go and buy Battlefield 6 and are excited about it. And, you just get the veterans excited about it. You get all like this liveliness kind of pushed back into the Battlefield franchise. And I think that's really what needs to happen right now, because it's kind of dead. It's not totally dead, but it's teetering on death. And, they need to be careful with this Battlefield 6, because I and a lot of other people agree that it could potentially kill the Battlefield franchise if they don't do it correctly.
100% on that. Yeah, it has to be done. It has to be done correctly. It has to be launched correctly, and the game's got to go back to its roots. I think they lost their vision. They lost their feel. We need to go back to the roots of what Battlefield is. The name of the fucking title. It's a battle in a field. We need to be fucking battling. And we don't need any more bullshit added to this. We need to go back to the roots, why this game is so important, and build upon that. If I can give EA any advice, so just go with that. And if there's any additional advice, listen to the community. The community of Battlefield is strong. It's passionate about Battlefield. Listen to them. They have great information to pass along to help you deliver a game that everybody wants.
Yeah, I mean, the Battlefield community is a tight-knit community. I mean, it always has been. If you go on the forums, you can tell that. If you go on Reddit, you could tell that. Like, the people on there know what they're talking about, and you'll see people on there and I'm one of them, and I think you are as well, who's played every Battlefield pretty much since 1942. That's like 17 or 18 years, I think I looked up. 18 years of playing this franchise. Like, I'm kind of sad to say that I've wasted a lot of my hours of my life doing this, but I'm not at the same time. I've had a lot of good fun doing this, it's just an amazing franchise. It can't die. We need it to be revived. It needs to come back strong. And I think, most of that is on EA and DICE to go back to their roots, as you said. Get back to the roots, get a modern game out. I know some people want to see Vietnam. Vietnam is not the right call at this time period. I'm sorry. We've had 2 historic games in a row, 3, I guess, if you include the Vietnam remake. It's not time. It's not time for a Vietnam game. I'm sorry. There's not enough content around it either. Like, it's all in the same setting. The maps are very similar. There's no ice and snow. There's no. It's just not the right move. You need to make a modern Battlefield, and I hope Battlefield 6 is that, and Battlefield 3 is the primer for it.
Let Vietnam Battlefield rest in peace.
Yeah.
Jesus.
For the
Let
time
it
period
rest in peace.
being released.
Yes. All right, y'all. That is another episode of the Daily Rage Quit, diving into the newest news on Battlefield 6 and what we expect from a potential remastered Battlefield 3. Be sure to subscribe down below. We want to keep these videos going, so make sure you click on the subscribe button. Of course, like or dislike our stuff. We didn't know if you like our shit or not. And of course, join the conversation. Tell us about your Battlefield wants and needs down below in the comments. Thank you all very much. And y'all from the Daily Rage Quit. Peace.
Peace.